Hi, and welcome back to Football Made Simple. We're here with an in-depth tactical analysis of the second semi-final to determine who would face Klopp's Liverpool in the final. Pochettino and Ten Hag faced off after the first leg ended 1-0 to Ajax, meaning Spurs needed to win and score at least 2 goals. The match ended 3-2 to Spurs, thanks to Ziyech and Ligt and a Lucas Moura hat-trick, meaning that Spurs progressed. Now, let's get into the tactics used by Ten Hag and Pochettino. Just before then, please like and subscribe to help support the channel. If you have any video suggestions, tweet them to @FootballMadeSim. Anyway, let's start with the lineups. Ajax stuck to their usual 4-3-3/4-2-3-1, with a back four of Mazraoui, De Ligt, Blind and Tagliafico, and a double pivot of Schöne and De Jong. Ziyech, Van de Beek and Tadic were in behind Kasper Dolberg. Pochettino changed to a 4-4-2 diamond, with a defense of Rose, Trippier, Vertonghen and Alderweireld. The diamond consisted of Wanyama, Eriksen, Sissoko and Ali, while striking duties were left to Son and Moura. However, this formation often changed into a 4-2-3-1 during the match. Now, we'll assess both teams based on tactical periodization. A video explaining all of these terms is linked now. We'll start off with Ajax, who were strong in the build-up in the first half. When building up, Ajax depended on De Ligt and Blind, with the fullbacks pushing up. De Jong was just ahead of them, acting as the conductor, while Ziyech and Tadic would tuck in, freeing up the space for the fullbacks. In the first half, when defending the build-up, Spurs used a 4-2-3-1 shape. But due to Ajax's fluidity, with free movement between their midfield five, it meant that they would often overload one side of the pitch to create numerical advantages. They would use interchangeable movement and then overload the central areas for crosses into shooting areas. Ajax were also highly effective in taking advantage of the spaces Spurs left behind when they went forward. Trippier and Rose would go forward knowing that Spurs needed a goal, which would subsequently leave gaps to exploit behind the fullbacks. This could be seen in the goal scored by Hakim Ziyech. Trippier is caught high up the pitch and Tadic attacks the space that he had vacated with speed. And the fluidity of the Ajax team comes into play as Ziyech joins the others in the central overload. The cross comes in and he finishes it. But how did Spurs attack during the match and manage this incredible comeback? Well, the attacking play can be separated into before Llorente came on and after he came on. Before he came on, Spurs looked to play out from the back, whilst Ajax defended in a 4-2-3-1. Wanyama would aim to receive the ball off the centre-backs alone initially, but when he struggled, Sissoko tried to drop to form a double pivot to help them play out from the back. In both of these situations, Ajax's man-to-man pressing was able to disrupt their build-up, often leading to turnovers in dangerous positions. This is shown by how often they won the ball in Spurs' half. On the rare occasion that Spurs managed to beat the press, Spurs were keen to use their width. Mazraoui was highly attacking in the press, meaning that there was space that he vacated on the right. Dele Alli and Son would both pull into this slot to receive quick passes and attack the defenders. This tactic worked well, for example when Ali picked up the position and slipped the ball through to Son for a shot. And here's where Poch made the substitution that got them to the Champions League final. If you cannot play through the press, you can try to play over it. From the moment he came on, Spurs looked to hit Llorente for the flick-on. Eriksen drifted deep to use his passing range to find Llorente, and Dele Alli was granted freedom to run beyond, looking for the flick-on, as you can see. So before even getting into the goals, what this did was force the Ajax midfield backwards to try and track Spurs' midfield runners for the flick-on. As a result, Ajax could not press as effectively, which allowed Spurs to set up camp in the Ajax half during the second half, making it harder for Ajax to counterattack. Some of these pros can be seen in their goals. In the first goal you can see the long ball, albeit to Moura, but the principle stayed the same, with Ali running beyond for the flick-on. As Ajax had overcommitted, there's a 4-on-3 situation and Moura scores. For the third goal, Sissoko plays it long again, and Dele Alli runs beyond Llorente. Ali then plays it onto the third man run of Moura again, who finishes it. It was a well-deserved victory for Spurs, coming out with an XG of 3.28 compared to Ajax's 1.66. They'll face Premier League rivals on the 1st of June in a battle of two of the best managers in the world. Hit like and subscribe to make sure you join us for previews and reviews of that match. That's all for today. Join us next time, and remember, keep it simple.